Hi, welcome back to Taking Sides. I'm Cynthia Allen here with Bob Ray Sanders. Bob Ray, there's going to be a vote at the City Council tonight about this new arena project in Fort Worth. What's going to be happening today?
Well, I mean, assuming they're going to vote to go ahead with an election, they would be voting to give the City Council a right to charge taxes on certain things, user fees really, for this new arena. 14,500 seats, $450 million.
That's a lot of money.
With the city committing to $225 million of that. That is a lot of money.
Right, and the other half of it is supposed to be paid for by a charity organization. They've agreed to pay $225 million, and then anything that goes over and above the 450 estimate. But it's still, I mean, and even, I know the mayor has said that this isn't going to affect the general fund. This isn't going to affect sales taxes. It's going to be paid exclusively by the taxes, but it still is a tremendous amount of money, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a tax on parking, a tax on livestock stalls, it's a tax on the ticket price itself. So the user is paying the tax, and that's not technically the general fund. But if they don't raise enough money with those taxes, the general fund will indeed be affected if the city can't come up with this part. So that's going to be one of the questions. The other part of this is through that charity group you're talking about is really a group of business people led by Ed Bass, and they're really interested in the stock show. They want a big arena for the rodeo. That's what they're going to get.
But the arena is also going to be available for concerts and sporting events and other forms of entertainment, correct?
Yeah, and for a city the size of Fort Worth, the 16th or 17th largest city in the country, Charlotte just overtook it, I think, by one spot. But this city has to have an arena some way, whether it's going to be at the convention center. And the question is, if you're going to tear down the convention center arena, which some people say we should do in order to make it more, attractive to those convention goers and the larger conventions, they got to have an arena to house all of those other things that this arena would do.
Well, the thing is, too, so this is going to be a 14,500 seat stadium, and it's going to be competing with other venues of that sort of size, like in Dallas and Grand Prairie. I mean, it's still going to be difficult for Fort Worth to compete for a lot of those big shows and whatnot. And so there's no guarantee that they're going to get all of they're going to get those acts and whatnot, and then it's really just a glorified stock show arena, right?
Well, if you see it that way, but of course the people who are promoting this feel that they will be able to attract some concerts, some other events that will need an arena that size, which is certainly smaller than American Airlines Arena in Dallas, certainly smaller than AT&T Stadium.
Right.
I mean, what will come there? No, we don't expect to get a sports team to come here. No, and then it would probably be too small even if it were. The question was, I mean, should we build even a larger arena if we really want to compete?
Is that going to get small very quickly?
Yeah, we're not going to compete with Dallas for major conventions, but there are conventions that have stopped coming here because we don't have the hotel space and the convention center size. It's just
but that's
not
a whole nother issue. That's a whole nother slew of money. That's not what they're going to be talking about tonight. That's not what the taxes are going to pay for. That's exclusively the arena in the cultural district.
Well, yeah, and if they're calling for an election in November, that's a very short time to convince people that what they've got to do is to build this arena. But that is the first step toward getting to the point of eliminating the arena at the convention center and expanding that facility. Well,
and it's a good point too. You just talked about how Fort Worth is the 16th or 17th largest city. Part of the appeal of Fort Worth is that it's kind of a small town and that it has a small town feel, even though it's a big city. I don't know if this is going to affect it in a positive or negative way. Is this good kind of expansion, or is this the kind of expansion that might be harmful?
I think that's a question that the voters have to answer, and whether we want our cultural district to have another large arena that may or may not fit into what we think of as a cultural district.
Well, it's likely the City Council will call the election tonight, and then it will be up to the voters in November.
And that's who should decide.
That's right. And that's all we have time for today. Thank you.